Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the 8th session of course Numerical Methods and Computer Programming. In this session, we are going to study second open method for finding out root of equation, which is successive approximation method. This method is also known as fixed point iteration method or one point iteration method. So in this method we assume a single initial guess to find out root of equation, hence it is called as open end method. This method is different than the other methods in fashion that it splits the given function in two different functions. Let us consider one example where y is equal to f of x is equal to, the equation is given as function of x as x cube minus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. So according to successive approximation, we will rearrange this equation so that we can get two different functions as splitting of the equation. So let us rearrange the given equation as I'll take 3x on left hand side and keep all other terms on right hand side. So I'll get equation in rearranged form as 3x is equal to x cube minus 5 or we can write this as x is equal to x cube minus 5 divided by 3. Now let us consider this equation as g of x. Hence the function y is equal to f of x, that is x cube minus 3x minus 5, is converted into the function which is g of x equal to x cube minus 5 divided by 3. Again we can convert this above equation in the another form as 3x plus 5 whole term raised to 1 divided by 3. So g of x can be written in this form also. It means the equation y is equal to f of x is now converted into two equations as y is equal to g of x, which is nothing but 3x plus 5 raised to 1 by 3, and y is equal to x. Now since we are considering another equation as y is equal to x, that means all values of y with respect to x are same. So this means equation y is equal to x is nothing but a straight line which is passing through an origin that it must incline at 45 degrees. Whereas y is equal to g of x represent the same curve, because we are just transforming that equation into another form, and another equation will be assumed compulsorily as y is equal to x. So when both these equations are plotted on same graph, the point of intersection of both functions represents the root of equation, that is y is equal to f of x, for function y is equal to f of x. So it means in successive approximation method, it is assumed that you are rotating your equation or representation of your equation by 45 degrees, and intersection of both functions will give you root of equation. You will be able to understand this particular concept using a graphical representation, which I am going to explain in the next slide. So if you see this particular diagram, you will find that function y is equal to g of x is represented within xy plane. So when function y is equal to g of x and another function y is equal to x intersects at a single point, which is represented by this location or a point, will be considered as root of equation. So when these both functions are plotted, which are shown in this particular graph, this particular point will be considered as root of equation, because this particular curve crossing equation y is equal to x at this particular point. So with respect to this graphical presentation, we will try to understand how to assume initial guess and approach towards the exact root. So I will explain the procedure one by one. You will be able to understand. Consider a curve y is equal to f of x as shown in this particular figure, or we can say any function which we have seen up till now. Convert your given function fx into gx by rearranging equation which we have seen in the previous slide. Assume initial guess x1 such that it satisfies the condition absolute value of g dash of x must be lesser than 1. I am going to explain this in the next slide. So when g dash of x is slope of the curve g of x, so that means the slope of a curve g of x should be less than slope of a line y is equal to x. That is why it is considered as 1. It should be lesser than 1, because this is considered as slope of a straight line which is passing through origin, which is inclined at 45 degrees. So slope of this particular line is obviously considered as 1. So that is why initial guess x1 should be considered only when the condition of absolute value of g dash of x, that is slope of g dash of x, must be lesser than 1. If you don't consider this particular value, the method diverges. I am going to explain divergence of successive approximation method in the subsequent slides. So if your initial guess x1 is correct, it indicates that we are approaching towards the root of equation. Now let us find the value of g of x1 by substituting value of x1 in the equation y is equal to g of x. Then we obtain the value of y1 is equal to x2 on the line y is equal to x. I am going to explain this particular point in the graphical representation in the next slide. So now x2 is the first approximate root of the equation. So now let us consider two equations, as first equation is y is equal to g of x, which is nothing but this particular curve, and another equation which is straight line which is inclined at 45 degrees and passing through origin, which is nothing but y is equal to x. So let us consider these two equations and their respective functions, or we can say curves or a straight line inscribed in xy plane. So now let us assume initial guess x1 with respect to the condition which we have seen, that is absolute value of g dash of x must be less than 1. So since we know the value of x1, we will put this x1 in function y is equal to g dash of x, and we get value of y1, which is represented by this particular line. So after this, what we have to do is we have to draw a straight line at 90 degrees from point B, which is nothing but y1. So when I draw a straight line which is inclined at 90 degrees at point B, you will get this line which will intersect the straight line at point C. So if you observe, the point C and its projection on x-axis is nothing but x2. That is why I write y1 is equal to x2, because magnitude of B and C is same. That is why I can write y1 is equal to x2. That means y1 will give you next value of next approximated root, that is x2. So since Now I know value of x2. I can find out value of y2 by putting x2 in the equation. Y is equal to g of x. Hence I get function g of x2, that is nothing but y2. Again, from point D I will draw a straight line which is inclined at 90 degrees at a point D for line x2D. So I will get this particular line which will intersect this straight line which is inclined at 45 degrees at point E. If you take projection of point E on x-axis, it is nothing but x3. So that means value of y2 is same as x3. So D is same as E, which is represented by this particular line. Magnitude of this two is same. Hence you can replace your x3 with x1, x2 with x1, and similarly you can approach towards this particular route. So now when I know value of x3, I can find out respective function g of x3, that is nothing but y3, and again I will draw a straight line which is inclined at 90 degrees at this particular point. So this means after repeating this procedure you will again get value of x4 somewhere here, which is very near to the exact root. So this is how a successive approximation method converges towards the exact root. But it is very important to know that value of x1 must be selected in such fashion that this procedure, if we follow, it should converge towards the exact root. I am going to explain the divergence of this method if you select wrong value of x1 in the next slides. So the procedure which I have explained here is described in this particular slide. Line AB indicates initial guess x1 and value of y1 obtained from y is equal to g of x1. So this means AB line, this particular line represents value of x1 and respective function y1. So line again line BC represents x2 is equal to y1. I have already explained it. This BC line represents that magnitude of these two is same. So to find out new value of guess in the next iteration, we assume x1 is equal to x2, which I have already explained. You can replace your x2 with x1, which is nothing but which is shown here. Line CD represents new guess and respective function. I have already explained. This particular line give you new value of the approximated root and respective function. Similarly, the procedure is followed and you can approach towards the exact root. So follow the step, this particular step, till actual root of equation is achieved. In some cases desired accuracy is given. If it is given in the accuracy form, then you can perform iteration till you achieve the accuracy. So now convergence we have already seen. So in the previous figure, after initial guess x1, we are approaching towards the actual root. Hence you can say method converges or convergence occurs. In order to have a correct initial guess x1, use the condition absolute value of g dash of x1 must be less than 1. Now the divergence can be explained in such fashion that in some cases it is very difficult to obtain root of equation by using successive approximation method. So for cases where slope of curve, that is absolute value of g dash of x, if it is greater than 1, then you move away from the root. That means your method diverges or divergence of method occurs. So now let us try to solve the example using successive approximation method. Before solving the numerical, let me explain the divergence of successive approximation method using a graphical representation. So if you observe here that equation y is equal to g of x is represented by this curve, and another equation which is a straight line inclined at 45 degrees, which is y is equal to x, is also prescribed in xy plane. So intersection of these two equations is represented by this point and considered to be exact root of equation. So now if I assume value of x1 arbitrarily, and if I don't cross check the initial value of x1 with respect to the condition, as absolute value of g dash of x must be less than 1. If I don't cross check this value, what will happen? Let me explain here. So I assume x1 value arbitrarily and I find out its function by putting value of x1 in the equation y is equal to g of x, and I get value of respective function, that is nothing but y1. Now I draw as per the procedure of successive approximation method. I will draw a straight line which is inclined at 90 degrees at this particular point, such that it will intersect at some point in the line y is equal to x. If I find out the projection of this point on x axis, which is nothing but x2, that means magnitude of y1 and x2 is same. Hence I will replace the value of x2 as x1. Now next approximated case is considered as x2. Since I know the value of x2, I will put it in the function. I'll get respective value of function, that is y2, and I will perform the procedure. I repeat the same procedure such that I will draw a straight line which is inclined at 90 degrees at y2 at point y2, such so that it will intersect somewhere here. So if you observe the convergence of this method, if you observe this particular path, that is from x1 to y1, y1 to x2, x2 to y2, and so on, you are moving away from this route because you are moving towards this particular point, I mean to this particular way. You are moving away from the route. That is why it is called as divergence of successive approximation method if your initial guess x1 is wrong, because by following this particular procedure and this particular path, you will never approach to exact route. That means you are diverging from the exact route. So now if you consider another example which is same as this one, if you consider this particular curve as function y is equal to g of x, and straight line which is y is equal to x, and if you consider x1 arbitrarily, then you will follow this particular path, and you are moving away from the route. That means you will never approach or never reach to this particular route because you are going away from it. That is why it is called as divergence of method. So this indicates that if slope of absolute value of g dash of x, if it is greater than 1, then your method diverges. So these are the two examples where you can witness that absolute value of g dash of x is greater than 1. So now let us try to solve one example using successive approximation method. So numerical is given as find root of x is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x. By iterative method, show the result for 4 iterations. So given data is f of x is equal to x minus 1 minus 0.3 cos x is equal to 0, and number of iterations is equal to 4. Now you will ask me why it is considered as x minus 1 minus 0.3x, because in the given equation or in the given numerical, the splitting of equation is already given, because if you observe value of x is given, one x is given on the left hand side and another term along with the x is given on right hand side. that means splitting is already given, so which is nothing but the original. This splitting or rearrangement of equation is considered for original equation, which is nothing but x minus 1 minus 0.3x is equal to 0. So if I take this x on the right hand side, or if you take this two terms on left hand side, you will get this particular equation, which is f of x is equal to x minus 1 minus 0.3 cos x, which is equal to 0, and we have to perform 4 iterations. So now here, since the initial guess is not given, let us assume the initial guess as 1 and check for the initial guess. So as I know, my function is x minus 1 minus 0.3 cos x is equal to 0, or you can write it as x is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x, and differentiating it with respect to x, I will get g dash of x is equal to 0 plus 0.3 minus sin x. So by simplifying this term, we get minus 0.3 sin x. Now we have to substitute value of initial guess, which we have selected as 1, in g dash of x, so that g dash of x1, so that we will cross verify whether it is less than 1 or not. So let me substitute the value of x1 in this equation. I'll get minus 0.3 sin 1, which is equal to minus 0.2524, which is less than 1. So we can say the initial guess is correct, and we can go for first iteration. So here you have to consider that whenever the example contains trigonometric term, or which is a transcendental equation with trigonometric term, you have to keep your calculator in radian mode. So x1 is 1, we have assumed. Iteration 1, step 1 will be calculating the new root of the equation. So we will consider the equation as x2. This equation we will consider x is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x, because this is nothing but g of x. So x2 will be equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x. So instead of x, put the value of x1, so that you will get value of f of or g of x1, which is nothing but x2, because we have proved that y1 is nothing but x2. So function of previous value of approximated root is nothing but the next approximated root. So x2, that is why I am directly writing it here. x2 is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x1, actually here it should be x1. So 1 plus 0.3 cos 1 will give you answer 1.1620. So now I will replace x1 by x2. So now my x1 becomes 1.1620, and I will calculate new value of the root. So again you have to consider the same formula. x2 is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x1. So I will put the value of x1 here. So I'll get answer 1 plus 0.3 cos 1.1620. I'll get answer as 1.1192. So try to understand, when you transform your equation into g of x, that becomes the formula for finding out next approximated root. Try to understand, in the method or in the bisection method or regular Falsy method or Newton-Raphson method, we have derived generalized formula to find out next approximated root. But here in successive approximation method, formula to find out next approximate root is nothing but g of x. Okay, you have to remember this formula. I'll repeat once again. Formula to find out next approximated root is nothing but g of x. Fine. So now again I will replace my x1 with x2 for the third iteration. So now my x1 becomes 1.1192, which is nothing but x2 in the previous iteration. So similarly again I will find out the next value of the root as x2 is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos 1. So I will put the value of x1 here. So 1 plus 0.3 cos 1.1192 will get answer as 1.11309. So again you have to replace x1 with x2 in the fourth iteration. So my new x1 will be this x2, so 1.1309. So now I'll calculate the value of new root by considering the same formula. X2 is equal to 1 plus 0.3 x1, so which is nothing but 1 plus 0.3 cos 1.1309. Answer is 1.1277. So you can tabulate the result in this form. The number of iterations are represented in the first row, and subsequently values of x1 and x2 are represented in row 2 and row 3. So you can write the last line as root of equation is 1.1277. So it was stated that you have to perform 4 iterations. So I can stop at this point, and this value will be considered as root of equation. Now let us consider the another approach, which is accuracy based method, and let us try to solve this equation using successive approximation method. So the numerical is solve the given polynomial equation x minus 0.3 cos x minus 1 is equal to 0 by guess of root as 0.5 by iterative method with 4-digit accuracy. So it is said that your accuracy must be of 4 digits, and initial guess is considered to be 0.5. So now let me write the function f of x as x minus 0.3 cos x minus 1 is equal to 0. x1 is given, that initial guess is 0.5, and accuracy is told for 4-digit accuracy. That means you can consider accuracy as 0.0001. Now to find out root of equation using successive approximation method, I have to find out g of x, so that I have to transform the original equation into another form. So original equation is f of x is equal to x minus 0.3 cos x minus 1 is equal to 0. To find out g of x, what I will do is I will take I will keep this x on the left hand side, and I will what I can say, I will move these two terms, that is 0.3 cos x and one term on the other side. So I will get equation as x is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x is equal to g of x. That is, g of x can be written as x is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x. So try to understand this particular formula is nothing but g of x, and can be considered to be find out next approximated root, that is x2. So now, since the value of initial guess is given, which is 0.5, there is no need to find out absolute value of g dash of x, and there is no need to check it with the condition whether it is less than or greater than 1. We will directly move to the first iteration. Remember, here also the equation contains trigonometric term, so your calculator must be in the radian mode. So first step is find out the value of new root or approximated next approximated root. So formula is x2 is equal to 1 plus 0.3 cos x1. So I will put value of x1 0.5 here. So I'll get 1 plus 0.3 cos x, which is 0.5 cos x1, that is 0.5. So answer is 1.2632. So now, since the accuracy criteria is given, we have to check the accuracy, that absolute subtraction between x2 and x1 must be less than accuracy. So I'll consider the absolute value of subtraction between 1.2632 and 0.5. The answer is 0.7632, which is greater than 0.0001, that is desired accuracy. So I can go for next iteration. So now replace your x1 with x2. So your x1 becomes 1.2632, which was x2 in the previous equation or iteration. So to calculate the new value of root, I will consider x2 is equal to 1.03 cos 1.2632. So answer is 1.0908. So now again I will check the accuracy criteria. I will check the absolute subtraction between the values of 1.0908 and 1.2632. it is 0.1723, which is also greater than greater than the desired accuracy. So I'll go for next iteration. So here also I will replace x1 with x2. x1 becomes 1.0908. I will put it in the formula for x2, and I will get value of x2 as 1.1385. If we check the accuracy between these 2 points, our subtraction between these two values, the answer is 0.0477, which is also greater than desirable accuracy. So you have to go for the next iteration. So fourth iteration also, if I replace x1 by x2, and if I find out the value of x2 with new x1, I'll get answer as 1.1256, and subtraction between these two values is 0.0128, which is also greater than desired accuracy. So I have to repeat this procedure till you get the satisfaction, or you can get the your criteria of accuracy must be getting satisfied. So I will repeat this procedure for 5th iteration, 6th iteration, 7th iteration, and 8th iteration. So at the end of 8th iteration, if you check the values of x1 and x2, which are almost close, so value of x1 for 8th iteration is 1.1284, and a value of x2 is 1.12843, and if you take the subtraction between these two, you will get answer as 0.00003. Now this is less than 0.0001. So you can consider the value of x2 at 8th iteration as root of equation, which is x2 is equal to 1.12843, and then you can stop. So this is how the successive approximation method can be performed using accuracy based criteria.